watching Forex, and in this video I'm going to make technical analysis for the coming week. As usual, we will look at main pairs and possible entry points. So this is my plan of trading for this week. So guys, I have made some videos of my trades during the week, what I could, and as I already made those results, I will not look through the week and show you where I had the trades, and I think tomorrow I will post a post on my blog janafx.com, so you can see those videos if you didn't see them, and maybe I will post also some screenshots for some cross pairs, so I'll have a look at it. But now let's just see at our pairs and where I will be looking for new possible entry points. So this is euro dollar, and this is a 4-hour chart. You can see we actually the pair moved up based on good news for euro, and it took advantage and decided just to continue its way. So I'm going to turn into the bigger time frame so you can see where I am at this moment. You see it went up like really high. I actually had to sell a little, but it was closed the same day on Friday when it jumped up and closed the sell. You see also I had pending orders previously here. Remember guys, that's what I was telling you with my orders, pending orders, like it was sell limits. When I see the impulse coming and the news, I moved, you see all my pending orders, sell limits, I moved them away, and looking for either to keep them on or go into the manually, or we will see, right? So because it still might continue with the move up as still a reflection of the news, and it's the end of the month, and you see again the pair didn't have at the end of the day on Friday fall. So that means people didn't close the positions yet again, so I think they might presume it might continue the way up. So I'm going to even bigger picture just to show you what I'm looking for. So of course you saw that was the top here, and I touched it and I had a little bit of pullback from the top, so it didn't break it this week, but it might still break it next week. So we just come out from this hour downtrend, which I used to place using those tops. You can see lots of tops, so it's actually broken. But now because it's broken, of course I'm going to see where is it going to stop next. Is it had enough and actually broke it, or will it come back this week? That's how I move my level. You can see guys, so I'm moving it. I could move it here, right, to see if it's going to stop, but I'm not going to do it because I have a level here. So of course I would presume it might go to the next level and then turn around, but I'm going to take it to the top of this wing, right, in here, and look at this now. It kind of looks like a bit of the pattern, right? So it looks like a little bit of maybe diamond pattern, or like I'm saying, like sometimes I call it fish. So it's a diamond pattern, so this should continue in sitting here for a while and then continue the way up. So changing the direction. So if it's the other pattern, and if it will, let's say, consolidate here and then break that level, so then I'd consider it to continue the way down. And you see I still have my open trade here, which I didn't close because I still have a possibility of euro dollar to come down and continue the way down. So you see, that's why my possible next entry point, so I will see where that movement will go. So at this moment I presume it might have a little bit of sitting in this area, right? So that's the pattern. So I might presume it might sit in here, or maybe even underneath this level. If it will not break this level and just sit here, so that I would be more considered continue way down. If it will break that level and jump up and sit a little bit more higher, then I would presume a little bit more towards breaking and continue the way up. So that's why we will see where it will decide to stay in this area, a little bit in this area, or between these two. And it's just a bit bigger picture and ahead, let's say, in the future. So that's where I see it right now, that the euro can stay in here. So okay, so I've just moved that level, so you know where it's gone if you'll be looking and thinking where it is, because you're not going to see it very much on the smaller time frames. This is still a daily one, so let's go on the 4-hour chart. So what I look for now, you see it's just had a little bit of pullback, let's say, right, because of that previous stop right at the top. So of course now there is no entry point. we had entry points there before, but now there is no entry point, and I would wait possible. So if it will fall, for example, open with the market and it just fall, okay, I will look at this level as the next possible entry point, because a good distance to go down and good distance to continue the way up. Or I would just wait for it to go to this next level. So I have this sell limit just in case if it will shoot up, guys, you see. So if it will just slowly move and move, I'll probably remove it and just wait for some consolidation as usual, because you know I do really like to wait for consolidations. But the move was huge already, so I'll presume it needs to have a bit of a correction, right? So, but where it starts, is it started already, or might possibly start at this level, or maybe will go a little bit higher. So this is my levels where I will be waiting for some consolidation, right, and possible entry points. So that's my view on euro dollar. Pound dollar, as you can see, it is still in the uptrend channel, and with my other previous videos I did a little bit also analysis for the coming day, and so you know where it all come from. So right now it was a bit messy, so that's why, remember guys, I was waiting for some consolidation in here, but it didn't happen. You see, it's actually touched the level and then just jumped out. So, and now my possible entry points, I'm waiting for this move, either go up, right, a little bit more, and let's say, well, that would be a really, really good area if it will, let's say, jump up and then just start to consolidate around here somewhere, like between those two levels. I mean, it might be a little bit earlier, like this. So that's my first entry possible point, and on the other hand, if it will fall down again in some kind of this area, or maybe on top of it, of course, like this, right, and get into this area, so that's the bit of the area, so that's the next possible entry point. So that's the first 2 points. If it will fall from here, so of course that would be again a possible this area, and then if it will go down next level, if it will jump up back and then back into this channel. So if it will break this area, of course, then I will be looking at what the previous stops were, right? So then I will draw this a little bit further, and then we will see where it's going to have a stop. So that's easy with pound dollar. Dollar yen, a lot of here, I mean, don't get scared, there's so many levels. If you've been following my videos, you would know where it is from. So I'm just showing you guys, remember that was the pattern which I looked like a possible also diamond pattern, right, or like I say, fish pattern. So it started to break through, so it didn't start to continue inside it. So that's why you see that level just can be changed. You see, like for example, like here, and then you see where it stopped, and it doesn't even have to be moved, you see, guys, because I gave you those levels previously, and I told you one of the best entry possible point would be for some consolidation inside this area, and that's exactly what's happening right now. So of course for the next week, this would be my possible entry point number 1, placing the pending order buy from this level and pending order sell from this level, and of course then after, so you see we can move into smaller, this is a very big time frame, you see, giving you a bigger picture to see where all of these entry points are coming from. You see, now you understand where all those levels came from. So you see, that's the movement. So I will wait for this to sit in here. So that's quite a strong resistance level. So if it will break that, so continue the way up, right? If it will break this one, so then I would see it's going down again here. And then this would be the next possible entry point. Let's go on the bigger one. You see, it's a better view. On the bigger one, of course, I go on a 1 hour chart just to see for a better channel if it starts to create. So you see from here, so now if it will sit a little bit here, if it will fall, that would be the next entry point. And if it will jump up, so either underneath this or possibly jump to the next level and sit around here somewhere, that would be the next good entry point for me. So that's the view on dollar yen. Australian dollar, I also was showing you where the entry points, so that was the entry, one of the entry points, and on this account actually I closed with a very small profit just as usual, but the other one is still floating, and so well, that's pretty much it. You see it got a very strong area here, and if there are no entry points, for example, like on this right now, on this account, so my next entry point would be, it's quite obvious, right, in this area. So if it will start to sit and consolidate in here, so that would be possible buy to the next level, and this would be a pending order sell to continue the way down. So if we will have a look on a bigger time frame, so you can see it's, of course, the first thought would be technically it needs a correction, right? So I would presume, of course, first view it might have a correction finally from here. That's what I have been waiting for, this for Australian dollar to go to this high, but we still have a little bit of the wing, and that's why quite often in the Forex it closes the wings. It also might take a while, just like gaps, but it does, and so that's why it might jump this week, right, like here to the next, and see it had consolidation here before, so it might start between these two levels, so who knows, right? So next entry point would be visible either if it will start between these levels or will go to this level, who knows, maybe it will have a strength and continue the way up, right? If it will go up, so all of those levels. If it will go down, so of course we will see somewhere in the middle. Remember I had here trade, and somewhere in the middle between this, well, that level or maybe even this one. So we will see where it will have a stop, slowing down. So that's the view on Australian dollar. Dollar Canadian, well, we still have an open gap, which I'm still waiting for pair to close, but this week it was, first it moved really nicely, and I closed my previous sell, which I was waiting for a very long time for breakout this strong level, but unfortunately the move was not a very strong, but I decided to close, and I explained because the swap already grown, because I have been sitting for a few weeks and the swap was very big, and I was thinking if it will not continue the way down and just start to have a consolidation or will go back up, it will build my negative swap. So that's why I closed it with a good profit, and I was of course looking for other entry points. I had to sell again, and I sold again. So you see, this time it didn't move enough for me to take my 10 pips. Even here it didn't get me out of the trade. So so I placed another level, also buy. So you see it's created a really nice, you see if you go on a smaller channel, so it created a really nice channel, and of course I thought maybe decided, you know, just sit in here, you see, like 3 days, and maybe it will decide to have a correction, right? So because it's a big move and expectation of the correction, so that's why I have now another buy. So kind of pretty much like locked it, and then we will see if it will continue the way down. Of course, then I will keep this lock pretty much now and close. I will also look for sell again, right? So because we have a gap, and then we will see from here it might turn around finally and start to pick up. So, and of course at the same time, like you see, and not closing, if it will go up again, so I will not be closing this one yet because there's still gap, but I'm not excluding that it might have a good correction and jump and break this level once again and jump back up. But first I see maybe this will be just a pullback, and then it will continue the way down again, so, but maybe it will jump inside. So you see all of these levels are all the same, so let's see if it will go and start to consolidate, who knows, from here up there or down there. But from this in here we have, it's just a pure field underneath here. You see, that's why it just can go down, either can go completely to the next possible area where it was actually had a gap, or might continue even further, closing it, but maybe stop somewhere in the middle. You see, right now there is no possible to say where it can have a possible stop for another possible entry point. So that's the situation for me with dollar Canadian. Euro pound, well, had some trades this week for euro pound, had nice ones, and you see once again I was drawing here what you see is a lot of levels once again. So the big trend channel, right, I used these two tops and the bottom, so that was that level, and then I draw a little bit of this two channels to see if it is in diamond pattern again, right? So either head and shoulders or diamond pattern. So it was looking more like a diamond pattern because of the breaking of the neck area. So but this jumped out a little bit, but this was a good entry point. In my video where I was showing that move, I said to you guys, wait for this consolidation. So I decided to take a trade. So I had a trade from this level, exactly where I pointed out, and you see it had a really nice jump, and it's actually stopped at this level again. You see, that's how it helps to see where these movements can go, and so I come out from the trade with the profit once again. So, and this pair is, because you see euro and pound in some kind of backwards and forwards, I'm not like very confident with this one. I mean, it had really nice possible entry areas, and right now I just see it once again. See, it can continue inside this channel, like just go up, or maybe it will try to go back down. So I think I'll just, well, that was, you see, they had really nice entry points. Right now just maybe wait for it a little bit longer to see what is going to happen. I mean, now it might look a little bit more like this shoulder now, bigger shoulder, and this might be bigger head, and it will go down, but and of course it needs a bit of a correction because euro went a little bit high. So yeah, I'll just wait for now. Let's see, it might start to consolidate once again around this area, right, and or maybe go down here, or we will see. Right now I just don't see good entry points. That's why I just don't want to like say anything where my next possible entry point will be, because at this moment you see it broke the main uptrend channel, but at the same time you see it was stopped by this little one, so it's a bit too complicated with this right now. So let's just see, and it's very much reacting on the news, so let's just see a little bit longer what's going to happen. So I would say with Euro Pound. Gold, well, lots of also good entry points were this week, so I had some trades and sending to the channel, also to Telegram. And so right now, well, let's see bigger picture again. You see in the small one you can't see anything, can't say anything. So we jump out from this big triangle, remember, which looked like a bullish. Then we continued to win, and I said, well, probably would expect a bit of a pullback. So it was starting to have a pullback, but then it decided just to make a kind of pullback, didn't break that important level, and created another possible wedge, bullish wedge. You see, that's why it was quite pretty much expected a continuation of the way up for gold. And of course, don't forget the news, China and US. So and at this moment, I mean, I still would consider this a bullish and continue the way up, because yeah, it's well, it's a trend uptrend channel right now. So it had a stop here, and you see nicely stopped here and turned around. This is actually, I had a trade. I bought where, like I told you, I'm not very often buying or selling right at the tops and right at the bottoms if it doesn't have a consolidation. So here I just decided to take a chance because it was a pure 400 pips drop and a very strong level. And of course with all this uncertainty with US and China, what is going on. So that's where I had a buy. And you saw it in the video I showed you. So that's why, of course, this one I would presume it should continue inside, but of course now for next possible entry points here, right, we're in the middle, and just wait for a bit of consolidation. I mean, because yeah, of course it might have a little bit of pullback, right, and you never know what kind of news are going to be, so that's why you can't be 100% sure, okay, if I'll buy here it will continue the way up. So that's why I just rather to wait again and for pair to give us something, because as you can see, we had some consolidation here before and some consolidation here, so that's why I would just rather to wait a little bit, maybe give a maybe a little triangle or something like here, and then you see it's a good distance to one level and of course to another level. So if it will have decided to have a little bit of correction, might go down, who knows, it might go back down here again, so I'll have a look at possible entry points in here, and of course if it will continue the way up to the next level, and I'll see some consolidation and possible entry points around this level. So that's my view on the gold. Pound yen, well, I didn't have any more trades in pound yen in here because you see it's it was a little bit messy, but it's going inside as a possible, you see, broke a bullish wedge as expected, right? So it's broke it and it's inside the flag, which looks like a bullish flag, and of course technically it all way looks like it should continue the way up as a bullish flag, but it's still a channel, downtrend channel. So you see it's 50-50 at this moment, and of course it will be depending on what is going on out there with pound news and yen news. So that's why I decided not to go. I was waiting for some like nice consolidation in here between these two levels, but you see it was jump up, down, up, and what is it now? I will be waiting for this to continue sitting here and maybe narrowing down. If it will go like, let's say, tiny nice consolidation here, that would be my possible entry point. If not, it will just move like this in this area for a bit longer, then that would be my possible entry point. This is just a little bit plain safer. You see, I don't want to place my orders here because it might just have a jump and then back, and I don't want to then sit and float again for a long time. That's why the best area would be here for me and safer. If not, let's say break it, of course this would be the next level to see for some consolidation, and then I might try to draw another level just to see what can happen. So I might have a consolidation and then might fall again as a pullback, right, of a breakout of the flag, and then continue the way up. So it's all going to depends on the news. But technically also this is what it looks like, right, usually. So it will have a bit of more consolidation, it will break, have a little consolidation here, pull back a little bit, and then continue the way up. So that would be a bullish flag walking. If it's going inside the downtrend channel and decided not to do it, a bullish signal, so then I just might consolidate, might break this level, right, and go down, of course, to the next level. This will be the next possible entry point, because right in the middle between one level and another level. So that's my view on pound yen. So pretty much it, guys, and quickly let's see at what's happening with oil. This week it's just, you see, was sitting had a bit of a correction again, went up and started to jump up again. And I didn't have any trades on it once again because, like I'm saying, oil has huge swaps, negative swaps. I mean, they come down a little bit now, and I still believe it's going to close the gap, but it still had a really huge move, and technically I would just rather to wait and expect a little bit of correction. So I'm still waiting for it to correct a bit more. I was hoping that move will continue a little bit more because this is where I was looking to place orders buy. I can't place pending orders buy still, limit. You see, there is no opportunity to do it. They don't allow it on this broker. I don't know how it's about the other brokers. So, and that's why I was just watching it. Had an alarm here, but it didn't happen. You see, it had a little bit of pullback and then went up. So yeah, it might, like I was telling you guys, of course the oil will go up in prices because it would need more, more airplanes, more cars will be driving soon, so of course, but I was still hoping that we still don't have a huge demand, so I'm still hoping that it will have a little bit of correction and possibilities to buy once again somewhere a little bit lower. So otherwise, of course, if it will close that gap, then maybe it will have some pullback from this level and correction from here, and will not have a correction here. But that's how I would look at it, guys. So if it will have a pullback, if it will have a correction, I mean right now is a correction, then I will be looking to buy. If it will just continue, like I'm saying, I don't want to risk it to buy it, I mean just because of the swaps. You see, if it wouldn't be negative swaps, I would just place my usual order, buy, stop, and then would just like look for it. Even if it will have to float, it will still close this gap at some point. But because of this huge negative swaps, that's why I just don't want to do it to risk it, and that's my view of it. So that's how I see it. If you don't have swaps, then if I wouldn't have the negative swaps, I would definitely place it and just wait for it. I mean, even if it would fall, and even if I would get into the trade and then it fall again, like I told you, have enough. That's why you need to calculate your risks and see if you have enough, then you can hold it. But negative swaps is a killer. So, but like I'm saying, with the all opening of the travels once again, it might actually fill in the gap quite soon, so I presume. That's all my view on this coming week, guys. If you liked the video, of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and happy trading, everyone. See you next time. Bye.